Ooh, what's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another session of Coffee and Martial Arts. Salud, salud, salud. Cheers. Yes. And we have a great show today. But I'm sorry, but before we go there, um, let me just say to you, Happy New Year. I hope you guys are doing great. Okay, so here's let's see. Here's the one. There we go. The Wayward Part 6. Yes. But like I said, before we go there, first of all, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you had great holidays and you're back at work with all the attitude. Yes. Okay, with that, big smile, giving welcome to the new year with all the projects and goals and everything set up for this new year. Just remember to be grateful and to keep your head up and keep on going, okay? And enjoy life. I hope you guys are healthy, and your families are doing well, okay? We're hoping for a best 2022, okay? Better than last year or the last couple of years for that matter. Okay, so let me just remind you that we are going live through our Facebook page, Master Frank Soto, Kinetic Dragon. So please like and subscribe to the page. That always helps a lot for the algorithm. Okay. Remember to leave a comment or ask a question. Okay. We're also going live through the Internacional with a C, International Hall of Fame page of Argentina. Okay. That's a nice group of martial artists doing their thing down there, down south in South America for the world. Okay. We're also going live through our Kinetic Dragon YouTube channel. So please like and subscribe and click on the little bell so you get notified every time we go live, okay? So today we're going to be talking with my good friend and Coffee and Martial Arts collaborator, Guro Kathrin Sumpter, which is a Cacoy Cañete Doce system instructor. Okay, she's I think it's 4th degree or 3rd degree. She can tell us that. I'm not very good with the ranking numbers, but anyway, she's a maestra. She knows her stuff, and she's also a Taekwondo black belt. I think also 2nd or 3rd degree, and she has her school in Squim, Washington. I know a lot of you guys know her, but if you don't, I just want to give a good introduction. Okay, so she's already here, so let's bring in our amazing collaborator. She's been with us for over a year now, helping us with the podcast. She's very enthusiastic. She always brings a lot of good material and a lot of good points of views and subjects of the martial arts. So let's give a heart welcome to Guro, Kathrin Sumpter. Hello.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Cheers.
Cheers.
How you doing?
Very well. Happy 2022. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. We have people saying hello. Sifu Ernesto Colbrenner, saludos, salud maestros from Casa de la Cultura China, Santa Fe, Argentina. Chinese Cultural House. Thank you, Sifu. Gracias. Sigung Ángel Alberto Velázquez. Salud from the USA. Saludos. Salud. Thank you, sir. And Master Juan Martín Álvarez. Salud, Master. Big hug from Argentina. Saludos, maestro. Gracias. Okay, so how was your how were the holidays for you?
It was very good. It was very good here in the Pacific Northwest, here in Squim. It's sort of known as the blue hole. We have less rain and less inclement weather than Seattle, but we had a white Christmas. It snowed on Christmas. Beautiful. So that was nice. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. Cat ACC, buenos días from San Francisco Bay Area. Buenos
Bay Area. I grew up in the Bay Area.
Nice. It's a beautiful place there.
Nice. It is. Wow. Very cool.
I was there once back in, I think it was 97, 98, when I used to train at the Pasadena studio with Grandmaster Larry Tatum. Used to work there, and we drove up one weekend. We had a great time. It's a beautiful place there.
Were you in San Francisco or the surrounding area, or?
No, we went to San Francisco,
Yeah.
and then I think we visited was it Redwood?
Redwood City.
Yeah, the trees. You know, the humongous trees that they have, the forest or something.
Oh yes, Big Bear or something.
That.
Yeah.
Amazing place.
Very nice. Yeah, a lot of good schools in the Bay Area, and in San Jose, the San Jose South Bay, and yeah, a lot of good schools.
Well, that's the first. Let's see, the first U.S. home for the late and very famous Bruce Lee, right? He started at Seattle, was it, right?
No, he was in
Oakland.
San Francisco. Oh, Oakland. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Oakland, yeah, in the San Francisco area, yes. So what do you got for us today?
Well, before we started, I had just mentioned that I've been I write a column for the Taekwondo Times, the Wayward, hence the name of the show here, and they asked me to do a column for the new year, and I'm really excited to kind of continue improving the school, and I'm always interested in hearing what your listeners and also the teachers that what they're doing for their schools. But one of the things that I've been trying to do every year is have sort of a formal meeting with my students individually, and sit down and talk to them about their long, medium, and short range goals for their career. And that's not always an easy thing to articulate. And I also sort of learned, I have a small school, I've got about 40 students, and the age ranges are like 7 years old to 70. And I'm finding it kind of interesting that, a 7-year-old has a different idea of short, medium, and long range time frames than a 70-year-old. It's kind of interesting.
Right.
And I think it's also difficult sometimes to articulate or even know what you want. And so I told my students, I said, don't worry about it. But, I had a short Christmas break. I said, over Christmas break, just think about it. Think about what those time frames mean to you, and think about what you want. And of course, it's my job to help them figure it out. It's my job to help them verbalize it and find language to it and implement the system so they can reach their goals. But it's a really interesting exercise. And I know that as instructors and school owners, we're constantly checking in with our students all year long. But I find that this formal exercise is very valuable because we sit down privately during the course of the class. I'll set up a table and the class is continuing. I'm having students work on certain things. And then I take each student individually and we sit down and we write it down. It's sort of a formal exercise. And it's very valuable. And I just love hearing what they have to say, the different age groups. I have a student right now. He's getting ready to test for his black belt, and then off to West Point or the Naval Academy he goes. I'm not sure which one he's picking, but he's a very accomplished student. He's young, but he's going to test for his black belt like in April or May.
Wow.
And so his short, medium, and long range goals are going to be quite different than a brand new white belt. It's just interesting. It's a really interesting exercise to hear what people have to say. I'm finding that the short term, I'm sort of floating ideas to students because they don't know what to say to me. And sometimes, right? And so I'll tell them, well, maybe a short range goal, you really want to fine tune some particular techniques. Okay. Kind of break it down to the smallest element. Right, a particular technique that you really want to master it. Maybe you want to use it more in sparring. Maybe a medium range goal is that you really want to start working on your weapons more. And then of course a long range goal, it's when do you want to earn that black belt? But yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool. I'm getting a kick out of it, hearing the different answers. you know.
So you teach the Filipino art, right?
Right, right.
Cinema, right? Uh, and you have a curriculum for that,
Sure.
and that goes through belt levels.
Oh yeah, so in the Cacoy, Cañete, Doce Pares, the Scream of Stick Fighting, you start at white, and then it goes third class, second class, first class brown, and then black. So there's 4 promotional exams to black belt. So it's much different than what you'll see in a Taekwondo curriculum with the colored
So
belts.
you have three belts: the white, the brown, and the black.
Right, and then there's
I
different
like that.
grade levels. Right, right, through the brown.
You know,
Yeah.
Kempo at the beginning, back in the 50s and early 60s, only had white, brown, and black.
Oh, is that right? In Kempo? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know. Yeah.
yeah, and that came from basically a Japanese influence. Yes, so um, that's interesting. And how long does it take a regular student to get from white belt to black belt in the Cacoy Cañete, Doce Pares Scream and Stick fighting system?
Well, and of course, it depends on the
Of
student,
course.
of course. But yeah, so I would say 3 to 4 years.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Cool. So, and of course, it depends on how much time and effort they put into it, right?
Yeah.
I
Isn't
mean,
that the truth? I mean, you can always tell too, the regular programs, students come twice a week, and then it's not a lot. But then I teach on Mondays and Wednesdays, the regular classes, that's not including like private lessons or anything else. But then they have 5 days off, 4 to 5 days off. And I say, you need to train at home.
of
If
course.
you train at the studio and you leave your training in the confines of those 4 walls and you never take it outside, well, then you're only going to be a martial artist when you come into the school. And that's not what you want. You want to be a martial artist everywhere. So
Yes.
take it outside the confines of these walls. And I can always tell who's practicing at home. I mean, you can always tell who's
Yeah,
retaining. Yeah.
and it's funny because sometimes students they want to advance fast through rank, but they don't put the extra time. I mean, this happens, for example, here at the academy when I was teaching at the police academy. When I get to teach, the cadet goes to class from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning. Right, it's the first class in the morning because you get physical conditioning and self defense or the use of force, and then they don't think about it. They disconnect themselves until the next morning. And I tell them, look, if you do this, you're not gonna be ready for the streets because trying to control someone and without hurting them, because that's the job, it's not easy. You really need to train yourself for that and gain the skills. So if you put that in a scenario where you only train a couple hours a week, and let's say you go there on a Tuesday and then back on a Thursday, and then you disconnect yourself until next Tuesday, and you don't even think about it, your progression is going to be really slow. And like you said, I like the way you put it, that they need to take martial arts into their regular lives, outside the dojo, outside the studio, right?
Boy,
I
isn't
like
that
that.
the truth? Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
You
that,
don't want to limit yourself. The whole world is your school. You-
well, and also, I guess one of the goals is to make martial arts um, part of your lifestyle, right? It becomes a lifestyle. So how can it become a lifestyle if you're not taking it out of the dojo,
Right. Well,
right?
that's the philosophy. That's definitely the philosophy of the school. So yeah, I always, and we've talked about this before, but I always encourage people to write things down. And I can't tell you how often I have students saying, well, I just want to take a picture of your notes. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do that for you. It would be a disservice. I will sit there for an hour and I will help you forge your notes, but you have to write it. I copying my notes or snapping a photo. And that's kind of a new thing too. You know, everybody's got a cell phone now. I mean, there was a time where that wasn't on the table. That option wasn't on the table, right? But now it's like, well, can I just take a video of you doing the form? No, I'll take a video of you doing the form. How about that? You know what I mean?
Yes, and I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also got to ask, because I think it's very interesting. When you teach, you mentioned that you taught children from what age, you said?
So my youngest is 7, and then I have a gentleman in the stick fighting program who's 70.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is it the same curriculum for both of them?
No, the child, I have the kids classes with the Taekwondo, and then the gentleman who's in his 70s, he's in the stick fighting program.
So the stick fighting program only for teens and adults, or only for adults, or how does it work?
I do have, well, that's, thanks for asking. One of the things that I'm incorporating also in the new year, I just wanted to say one other thing about this annual evaluation, if I may.
Sure.
I wasn't able to, well, not that I wasn't able to do it. Actually, I was thinking about it this morning. I didn't do these annual evaluations in 2020 and in 2021. Okay. And my mindset, I think, at the time was that, you know, we were going through the school closures, and I didn't go to my students and ask them to think about these goals because I didn't know if I was going to be open, you know. And I kind of regret that. I wish I had asked them to do it anyway, to go through the motions anyway, and think about these goals, whether we were going to meet about them or not. But I was so unsure about the future of the school that I never asked that anyway. But I'm glad that we're back on it, because I've been doing this. I've had my school for 15 years. I've been doing it for all but those 2 years, and it's very valuable. I forgot what you asked me. You asked me about
kids learning the Filipino stuff.
Yes. Okay. So the other thing I'm incorporating are specialty classes for the existing students. I'm so fortunate that I still have my doors open. I am so fortunate that I have my classes are maxed out, and I have very low turnover, and it's very nice, and I'm very proud of that. But my community has been somewhat hamstrung by so many small businesses, small-like businesses that have closed. So I know what my school means to my community. I get it. So many places had to close that people are hungry to get their students enrolled, their children enrolled. They're hungry for something to do. And I managed to survive the shutdowns. So I really get my responsibility. I get it. So with that said, I'm starting these specialty classes, and starting this year, I'm doing classes off the regular schedule. For example, I'm going to do some stick fighting for the kids. I've got my first class set up. I'm kind of in an experimental state right now, but I'm doing like a basics class for the kids. And when I say kids, I mean, everybody seems like a kid to me now. So we're talking, 10 to 15. I mean, they're not little, but so I'm going to try that. I'm going to do some bow clinics, just these specialty clinics so they can do more martial arts. Also, these specialty classes, I'm hoping it will help them reach those short, medium, and long range goals. One of the things that I wanted to do, and I don't know how other schools operate, my classes are an hour long. Okay. And everybody wants to fight. Boy, do they want to fight. Everybody wants to suit up and fight. But just to get everybody suited up, and just to warm up, and just to get everybody suited up, it takes 25 minutes. And then just to get all the gear off and to get everybody to line up and bow out, that's another 10 minutes. So really, you're only fighting for about maybe half an hour. It's not a lot of time. And so everybody gets a chance to fight, and then we have to bow out, right? So I'm going to start these specialty classes, and I can mix the classes, and I'm very excited about this to see where it goes. It's just an experiment right now, but I put the sign-up sheet out yesterday, and they're filling up fast. I mean, people are so hungry for stuff to do. And I don't know what's going on in your town, but I know that right now the schools are open. I don't know what the future is like for here in Washington State. I know that some states are not going back to school. They've opted to continue with the online learning. It's difficult. It's difficult. Yeah. I don't know if that's the best thing for kids, to be stuck at home in front of a computer. So.
Well, I guess it is what it is right now, huh?
Right. Right. And so, yeah, I'm definitely trying to provide this outlet. And what a terrific outlet, right? Martial arts. I can't think of anything better, you know?
Yeah. So you, I mean, I'm sure you're going to do great. I'm sure you're going to do great with those new programs and those new classes. So
Thank you.
Best of luck with that. But so you've been teaching for 15 years, you said?
Yeah, I opened the school 15 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, and you never had a stick fighting class for kids. You're always teaching taekwondo.
Yeah, mostly that's what I think. It's because a lot of parents don't know what stick fighting is, right? I mean, it's sort of you know,
it can look aggressive, huh?
Yeah, it's a weapon art, you know, and so, but most people know what the uniform is, and they see the, you know, I think the taekwondo really gets people in the door. So yeah, it seems to me that the adults and the older teens mostly gravitate to the stick fighting. But I've been able to turn on some of the kids, and they love it. They just love it. So many of my taekwondo, the younger students, are slated to come in and start their stick fighting. Yeah, it's very exciting. I can't wait. They're good at it too. Those kids. Yeah, but they are. I've already started with some of the drills, and you know, the Sinawalis or the pinky drills. You know, the 4 count, 6 count, 8 count, 12 count, whatever it is. These kids, they pick it up so fast. They're good, right?
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
We have some people saying hello. Rafael Herrera, big salute from Spain, Maestro Soto and company. Good one. Thank you. Saludos. Milton Sandrea, greetings from Venezuela. Thank you for the interview. Very nutritious. With your permission, I add that martial arts, unlike sport, is for life. It becomes a lifestyle for those who practice it. Thanks and blessings, Master Milton Sandrea. Thank you. Gracias, maestro. Thank you, sir. Nice.
Isn't that the truth? Wow.
Yeah, I guess martial arts, there's something besides, you know, the mystical side, I guess, and the legacy, the tradition. There's something very special about it. And that is, you know, the values and the principles that bring, like, to kids. And it's, I mean, I'm not going to say we are better than sports, because sports are good in any way. I think it's a good practice to do. Any sport is a good thing, but martial arts have this, you know, the way of the warrior, whatever, you know, all of that we do and stuff. I think it has some magic into it. That's what I want to say. Some extra magic.
I agree.
So you have new programs, and you're working with students, and you have this, you know, you take them in a 4-year. What about taekwondo? Do kids get the black belt fast, or I mean, same time, like 4 years, or is it faster, or does it take longer?
I think the taekwondo program might take a little bit longer because you have more belts that you need to get through. But it's about the same, about 4 years, you know. But I will tell you something else that came down the pike. You know, like I said, I'm trying to figure out for 2022, you know, how to improve the school and how to make the experience for my students, how to make it amazing. I want them to have an amazing experience with martial arts and the school and with me, frankly. And one of the things that I discovered, I had a discussion with a parent recently, who was a little upset, frankly, that their child wasn't promoting with the rest of the group. I had 6 people promoting, and 2 of them weren't going to promote. They weren't ready. And I had a parent get rather upset about it, and they told me, I didn't know that there was a problem. I didn't know that, that my child wasn't doing well. And I said, no, wait a minute. Your child's doing marvelously, progressing fantastic, and your student's doing fantastic. And I realized also that testing is not the only benchmark of success. There are so many benchmarks of success in martial arts. And, when there's a communication problem with a parent or with a student, it's my fault, right?
Right.
So I realized that, I love promotion. I'm really big on it. For me personally, it's the rungs on the ladder that you climb. And so I love rank promotion. I'm always pursuing it in my own career. And I do hear myself talk in the school, like, okay, when are we going to test? Let's go. I'm very much enthusiastic about it. But the culture of the school needs to be so that students and, of course, also parents understand that testing isn't the only, rank promotion is just one of the many benchmarks of success. And I have to make sure that they understand that.
Right.
And I felt like I didn't make that clear, so that has to become really clear. And I do have other reward systems for the students. There are plenty of other reward systems, and I try and make a big deal out of those things. But yeah, I need to work on that.
If I may say something, well, you talk about the way, right? The way word. So the way, meaning the do or the Tao, it's the process, right? So basically, one of the problems that we have as Western civilization, we are set up that way, and it's a good thing, but it also can become a problem. I'm not against it, but sometimes it becomes an issue, I should say. It's results. We're always focusing on results, right? We want the reward, we want the belt, we want the personal achievement through results. And we don't think of the process, which is like the next level. And that's one of the things I think I always try to explain my students, and especially the parents, to tell them, look, the belt will come. Yes, results don't lie. Yes, you need to have the result, but the focus should be on the process, the way, right? So the building blocks or the steps and the system that they go through, the curriculum, and because they're getting more from the process than from the belt. The belt is just like the icing on the cake, right? It's nice to have it. It makes you feel good, but it's not the belt that is creating the martial artist or the individual. It's the process, right? So they need to go through the process, and teach them to focus more instead of just the result, which is the external motivator. Work on the process, which is more an internal motivator, right? And also the next layer will be identity. Working their identity.
Goodness. Wow.
That will be the deeper level, and that makes it more an spiritual, right? Because it's not you cannot touch
tangible.
Yes, thank you. But it's where you want to be, what type of martial artist or what type of person you want to become, and how does martial artists help you to get there. And that needs to be explained to the parent. What's martial arts going to do for your kid, right? And then when they can see the benefit of the process, the values that they're going to get, the confidence that they're going to gain, the skills like self-discipline that they're going to gain from it, et cetera, and how is that going to help them to confront life, right? Then when you teach them that, then the belt becomes less of an issue and more of a reward, right? I mean, nice, with something to celebrate, you got the belt, but if you don't get it, then it's not an issue. Because you as an instructor, you do understand that. Of course, we all do. The instructors, we understand the process. Mm-hmm. But sometimes the students or the parents, they don't understand the process.
I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. I think also, though, we have to be careful that we don't forget what it's like to be at that rank and how hungry we were, right? That all these wonderful things and truthful things that you're saying, it's like, yeah, I want my black belt. Then sure. We'll talk about all these other things.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's why you need
everything you said, I wish I could maybe I'll play this tape back and try and use some of that verbiage that you just gave me.
Well, one of the things is, if the person cannot see the benefits of what they're doing, they're not going to do it, right? And the benefit of martial arts is not just the belt. I'm not saying the belt is not important.
Right.
I mean, for me, the black belt is just a piece of clothing. But I've been a black belt for 20-something years. I got my black belt back in 98. So, of course, for me, it's a piece of clothing, right? It doesn't mean anything now. But before I got it, it was everything.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
I mean, getting the black belt was like, I want that black belt, I want that black belt, I want the
sure. Well, and didn't that attitude also take you to the finish line? I mean, there are times, your enthusiasm ebbs and flows, throughout the course of your career. And, there are times when you're hitting it hard, and then there are times like, God, I just don't feel like it. But if you have this carrot of this black belt, sometimes it helps you over the finish line,
Sure, but it's not what kept me in the art, though.
Fair enough.
The black belt gave me that first motivator, sure, but then I stayed in the art because I got passionate about Kempo, basically, and motion. So the art became a part of my life, and that
it was no longer a choice. You had to do it.
Yeah, if I don't do it, when I don't do it, when I don't train as much or as often, I get grumpy, basically, and people around me pay the bill for that. So I always have to train, or study, and there are so many things that you get to do once you get into an instructor level or whatever. But anyway, yes, the black belt is truly important, but if the result or the black belt is the only thing that matters, that's why a lot of people, when they get to black belt, they stop and they go to another thing. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, I got my black belt. Now I'm going to go and, whatever, study something else. Mm-hmm. So I think, yes, the belt is truly important. Of course it is, sure, but it's not the most important thing.
Well, everything you said, you're right. And that's if I'm not sending that message, then I need to change my ways. I need to, and it was just one parent. I'm not saying it was, but
you learn from that.
Oh, did I ever? It was like, hang on a second, your student is doing great. And so I realized that, if there's that communication problem, it's up to me to fix it. And so I'm kind of getting my head around that for 2022, making sure that everybody understands everything you just said. That and I don't want that. I don't want my students to earn their black belts and then quit. I don't want that. And my dream would be that each and every one of them wants to go off and teach and do their own thing. And yeah, that's the goal, right?
And I'm sure you're sending the proper message. But when somebody comes and says, like this parent specifically, it means that you probably have to make the implicit explicit, right?
Yes, very good.
And explain that particular person the benefits of that, staying probably longer in that belt. Don't worry, he's still gonna get it. He's gonna, be as good as everybody else. But the most important thing is he becomes a better version of himself or herself, the student, right? Not compared to everybody else, but compared to how you got there and how you're gonna get eventually with your training. So,
and there's also something to be said for in martial arts, not getting everything you want all the time, at the same time that everybody else does.
Delay gratification, yes.
Yes.
That's also part of the discipline that you're learning.
Yes.
Yeah, but see, if you don't say that to the parent and they don't see it, they don't understand the benefit. So sometimes telling the person what the benefits are, and especially with parents, because I mean, you're a mom, I'm a dad too, and I understand a parent. I understand that they want their kids to thrive. I mean, of course, we all do, right? And why is my kid? And then the thing is, it's usually when you feel threatened as a parent, it's black and white, right? So if he's not thriving, he's failing. Or she's failing, right? And it's not the case, right? But see, that's the way you process with your kids. So my kid is not advancing, so is he or she failing? So I didn't know he was going whatever, right? So explaining that no, your kid is doing just fine, just needs a little bit more of that process, right? And getting that delay gratification, or it's part of the lesson or whatever. Because, and then you can explain in life, that's the way things are going to happen. So he needs to learn how to deal with, not getting the expectations all the time, for example, or whatever. But I think, I mean, the fact that you've been teaching for 15 years and you have 40 plus students at your school right now, it tells me that you're delivering the message for sure. And that one person, it means that you just, with that particular type of individual, you need to be more explicit. That's it. I mean,
I do. And then sometimes I also tend to think that if one person is feeling that, is maybe another person feeling that too, and just not speaking up. I mean, oftentimes, people don't speak up.
Yeah. And then
it's just something. Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for your thoughts. It's definitely something that I'm going to pay attention to. Yeah, like I said, I want everybody to have an amazing experience at my school. It just seems so important it's important anyway, but I'm understanding more and more that I'm one of the few places that are open anymore in my town. Some of the like businesses have closed forever, and they were in this town for also 15 years, and they've had to close their doors forever. And it's very, very sad. And I know these people personally, so anyway, it's a big responsibility. So
I agree. Let me bring a couple of comments. Let's see. Carlos Villarroel, boa tarde. Big Master, salute from Brazil, Manaus. Salute to the master guest. Os bom café marcial. Salud. Okay, Master Milton Sandrea says, one of the most important things that martial arts teach is the evolution that the being achieves by overcoming his own fears and strengthening himself with humility and honesty, achieving balance with the universe in an inner peace that he can project to others. Thank you, sir. Nice.
Wow. Yeah, very thoughtful.
Nice. Thank you. Yes, agreed. I
I
think
had another parent come to me before he signed up his 16-year-old, and this guy also a martial artist. He's a ground fighter, but he came to me before he signed up his son, and he said, "Look," he said, "I don't know how to say this, but we're not looking for a McDojo." And I knew what he meant. He said, "Look, I really expect him to learn the material, and you don't just like push him through the ranks."
right.
Boy, you got that right. You have to. I don't. It's you either know the material or you don't. Yeah, I'm not giving this stuff away for sure. So it's just interesting. It's interesting.
Right, right. I agree. Okay. Troy Danner says, hello, Frank. Been a while. Hope all is well. Hello, my friend. Big hug. Happy New Year. It's been a while. Yes, sir. All is good. Thank you. Hope all is well with you. Also. Okay. So, yeah. Well, one thing is wanting the student to gain that belt and to achieve the goals. And the other thing is, making a factory of going through ranks and belts and stuff like that, which I guess that's what the person meant when he said McDojo, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me personally, I don't see anything wrong in a school who makes a profit, who's a good business and stuff. I think the difference it's within working ethics or professional ethics.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's important to bring in the money factor, the profit factor, because if we can make money out of schools, then that means that studio, that dojo is going to keep the doors open and that people are going to benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
So making money out of martial arts, I think it's not just important, it's essential. Because that way
no, I agree. Yeah.
the art is going to spread. And one of the things you need to do is promote people to rank because people expect that, like you well mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I also believe that's important. Go through the rank, it's important. Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And getting that the going to that promised land of the black belts, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
of course you want to be there. I mean, yes, like I said, I do remember back in the 90s when I was trying to get that black belt, I wanted it so badly. When I got to brown belt, I could taste the belt. I was like, oh,
I know.
I want it, right?
Oh, brother. I
Yeah.
know. Me too. Me too. I remember speaking with this one woman one time, and she was so zen, and she was telling me how, rank just doesn't matter. But I saw her with that same hunger achieve her black belt, and she crushed it. Well, how nice for you. You can be so zen now and talk about how rank promotion doesn't matter after you clamored and worked so hard to get your black belt. Good for you.
Yes. Yeah, I always tell people, look, I don't wear rank in my belt. It's not important. I use the belt because I have to. It's part of the uniforms, but if I could, I would take it off. Sometimes I do. And it's not important. Yeah, but I'm an 8th-degree black belt. So of course it's not important for me, right? I'm all the way up there, so it doesn't mean anything. But when you're a color belt or a white belt or a brown belt, of course you want the belt, and that's okay. We have another comment here.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Troy Danner says a successful dojo doesn't always mean it's a McDojo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And another one of your students, Mr. Beef. Oh. Hi to you, Coach from Swim, Guro Sumpter. Thank you for the opportunity to go over goals yesterday.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not sure if I know who that is. But excellent, excellent.
I'm guessing Mr. Beef is not his real name. It sounds like.
Oh,
Well,
no.
so if you can say who you are, please, that would really help if you want to, of course. But cool. Yeah, I mean, like you
So,
said, going through the goals, uh, it's a good thing.
it's so
Yeah, it's a good
interesting to
exercise.
me because you said something about how, you're an 8th degree black belt. It's not something that matters to you anymore, And I have to say that one of the things that I strive for in my lifetime, I do want to reach 8th degree black belt because in Taekwondo, 8th degree black belt denotes grandmaster. When you hit the 8th degree black belt, you're a grandmaster, and I want that in my life. And I hope I live long enough to reach that goal, and I'm striving for it. But I mean, is it really? Does it? Of course, it means something to you. Your 8th degree. Well, it means something to me that you're an 8th degree black belt, and it must mean something to you. It must.
It's more a responsibility than anything else.
Yes, fair enough.
But yeah, I'm not a believer of rank, but that's another story. Mr. Beef says it's Dean. Ha ha ha.
Dean. Dean is a very good stick fighter, and he's a good fighter. He's not only is he good with the Eskrima curriculum, but he's really shaping up to be a fantastic fighter. Yeah, what a thing.
So Dean Beef.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dean.
That's funny. Yeah, nice. Thank you for checking in.
Troy says an individual knows if they earned their rank or not.
That's true.
Yeah. But I gotta say, Troy, there's a saying. There's an interview of Bruce Lee saying the hardest thing for a martial artist is to be honest with himself or herself. So sometimes it's hard to be honest with yourself, yeah, I mean, I don't want to say. Here it goes. I'm going to say it. In the Kempo world, I'm going to talk about the Kempo world because I'm a part of that. There are some guys that are eager to get their rank, and they don't even know the material, and they don't care. So that's why I say it's more important the process than the rank. The rank will come if you do things right and you practice and you have a good instructor or a teacher or a sensei that takes care of you, that wants you to learn and go to you will get the rank for sure. I mean, rank shouldn't be an issue, right? But you got to go through the process. And it's not a matter of time. It's a matter of repetition. Repetition. It's putting in the time, not going through the time. I don't know if
very good. Yeah.
That makes sense. It's not that, I've been in the art for 10 years. No, I've been doing my repetitions, putting the effort for it's more like an hour type of thing, right? So it's working hours or training hours, not years in the art. So if you are doing your repetitions, doing your drills, learning your techniques and your basics and all of that, then you go through the process. You can speed up the process, but you cannot cheat the process. It's not the same. You speed up the process by putting in the time, putting more hours in the day.
Yeah. And before the show, you and I were kind of talking about the phrase having your head in the game. So it's the yes. I mean, if you're just like you said, putting in the time, showing up, but if you have your head in the game and you're in it, yeah, that's a difference.
Troy says this is true. Thank you, Maestro, and thank you for the comments. By the way, they're very, very good, very accurate. Thank you, sir. Very insightful. Maestro Miguel Arroyo, Master, a very nice and interesting topic. Greetings from Texas to both, Master. Thank you, sir, and Happy New Year. Greetings all the way to Texas. Nice. So, yeah, I think it goes down to putting in the work. It's about effort, right? So if you if you discipline yourself and you practice and you put the effort and you put in the work, you will get the results. There's no way
Do
around it.
you, coming up the ranks, did you feel when you were outgrowing your rank? Because I do. You know, it's so strange too. I've been lucky enough to have instructors that they, you know, you sort of step into your rank before you ever promote. So I've had fantastic instructors that award me rank, and the shoes are a little bit big. It's like when I was promoting in stick fighting, my instructor, I was slated to promote to third degree, and I was very much a third degree black. I knew it. I had been there for a long time, and my instructor surprised me and awarded me fourth degree. And I was bowled over, and I knew the shoes were a little bit big, and so I had to fill those shoes, and I have, and I'm outgrowing those shoes, so it's time to move on. You know what I'm saying? It's like same thing on the Taekwondo side. I have an instructor. He allowed me to promote a year early because you know sometimes there's a time in rank. But I had been working so hard, and I had been doing so much, and he said, we'll go a year early. And so, you know, I appreciated that because I know what it takes to fill that rank.
Sure.
And at some point, I'll outgrow it, and then it's time to move on. Do you know what I'm saying? I know it's a rather abstract notion, but you get to a place where you know what your rank is supposed to feel like, and you know when you've moved beyond it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I see rank differently, but it has to do with the way I was promoted, I guess. Uh, for
How is
me,
it different?
for me, rank became a problem, political problem.
What? How
For
so?
well, uh, since I'm an international instructor and so on and so forth, it became an issue. Uh, Trying to get the rank and then you know, people getting ranked too fast, and I'm like, oh man,
Oh, fair enough.
all that stuff, you know, and eventually it lost the magic for me. But I understand the student, and it's okay. So for many years, I felt that I went up the rank ladder too fast. But then for me, martial arts, it's a 24/7, 365 days a year thing. I'm always in my head thinking martial arts, experimenting martial arts, training martial arts, scenarios in my mind. I'm a very obsessive, passionate person. Uh, so I'm always putting the hours, right? So then eventually, when I got to understand that it was not about years, it was about repetition, then I said, okay, I did pay the dues. Actually, I went up fast in years, but not fast in repetitions. I mean, I've always been careful that I can back up the rank that I have in skills and knowledge. Uh, um, I mean, I know all the material, and I can do it, you know, and all that stuff. And the worst thing that can happen to me is that a student in the art, which lower rank, comes to me and I don't know what they're talking about. I don't allow myself to not know what a student knows. I know it's hard, but that's what I do, right? So I know the experience of rank is different for everybody, like you just mentioned it, and it's nice to see the way you see rank, because I think that's the right way, the correct way. You're looking at rank at the correct way. I'm ready. I already, uh, you know, passed this plateau or this level, and I'm ready for the next level. And that's the way it should be, I think. So if rank it's a motivator, then it's doing the job. But if rank becomes an issue, then there's something wrong. That's what I was trying to get to. So the problem is sometimes in the community, like I said, sometimes there's no honesty. Sometimes there is, sometimes it's not. So it's about the individual, I guess. It all goes down to the individual. Like they were mentioning with the Mac dojos, right? If you're just giving rank away to hold the students and to get paid, then there's something, then rank is not a good thing, then it becomes an issue. But if you're doing it the right way, as a motivator, as a reward, as something that the student earned and they pay the price, then it becomes meritocracy, then it's good. Then it's doing the job. So rank is not the problem, right?
Right.
It's just a tool.
I think, yeah, and I think also, like in every other industry, there are charlatans out there, right?
Yeah, it's human.
And it's right, and so often, I'll tell my students, I'll say, hey, you can go to centurymartialarts.com and order yourself a black belt.
And it's going to be a lot cheaper.
And it's going to be a lot cheaper. And you can go to your computer and you can print out a rank certificate.
Right.
But they know better, and they sort of laugh when I say that, because they know it doesn't mean anything.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
But
yes, you just nailed it. Meaning. It has to have meaning. If your rank has meaning for you, your level, your belt, then it's correct, right? Then it's doing, it's doing, the thing that it was created for, to give you meaning. Thank you. Yes, that's it.
Don't you find that so many of your meaningful experiences happen in the dojo? Because I've had so many peak experiences in the school all the time. I mean, I definitely tell parents that there isn't enough time between classes to talk to you about your student. And I encourage them to contact me anytime so I can talk about these victories and these successes that I see every single day. It's such a great thing to be in. I just love love having my school and having students and being a teacher, because I get to see all this stuff. It's great. Yeah. It's just great. You see the best. You see the best in people. It elevates everybody, including me.
If by dojo you mean the scenario where the student and the teacher relates, then yes, because I do a lot of traveling. So a lot of the a lot of the meaningful things that have happened to me has been teaching seminars or going to other countries and stuff like that. And to get to witness what martial arts do for the individual, and it doesn't matter the language or the culture, still does the same thing. That's amazing too. And to be able
nothing like it.
Yeah, to witness that magic. I mean, it's amazing. Okay, Troy Danner says, I haven't trained Kempo in a few years. I miss it. Come on, man. Go back to it. What are you waiting for? What's stopping you? Okay, so we are out of time. Oh my God.
What? I'm looking at the clock. What? Wow.
You're having a good time. So anything you want to add before we go? Por favor.
Well, Happy New Year. I'm excited that we're starting a new year, and you sort of said it at the beginning. We're all kind of hoping that this year is going to be better than the last couple of years, and me too. I'm going to do everything I can to, at least, the control that I have over the school and my martial arts and the relationship with my students. That's I have a modicum of control over it, so I'm going to make the best of it. I have a great deal of enthusiasm for 2022.
Great. Yes, great. Troy says, enjoy to watch both of you. Thank you, Troy. It was nice talking to you, and to hear that you're doing okay. Take care, buddy. So yes, and thank you so much, Guro, for being a supporting and collaborating with the podcast, with myself and with everybody for all this time. I really appreciate that. Your insights and your comments, they always bring light, to different topics of the martial arts and life. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Master Frank. I'm excited for another year of coffee and martial arts.
Yes, yes. Sami Ibrahim says salute. We're going to have Mr. Ibrahim next week. He's going to be here in the podcast sharing more about the martial arts. Thank you, Maestro. Take care and Happy New Year. And Happy New Year, everybody. And yes, let me remind you that every first Thursday of the month, we have the Wayward section with Guro Kathrin Sumpter, all the way from Squeam, Washington. Yes. So, salute, Guro. Thank you, everybody.
Cheers.
Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.